Hello, hope this is recording well. My name is Scott Cameron. I'm doing the EUB420 Assessment 1 Humanities with Dr. Deborah Henderson, and this is my presentation on my curriculum innovation. The name of my innovation is all about connecting Australian schools with Asian neighbours. I am a history teacher at a state high school, and we're going to be talking about what we can bring forward as an innovation, and what we can incorporate into the history curriculum from year 7 to 10. Now, my innovation idea, it's all about connecting a generation of Asia and Australia literate students across the Asian region. Okay, this it is an initiative that we would like to embed into our humanities curriculum. It's about connecting multiple sister schools in Brisbane with multiple sister schools in Vietnam. This program will allow students to develop relationships with other schools in the Asian region during the continuum learning period of years 7 to 10. Priority learning was what we're hoping to build up to as part of as I would say, probably a final presentation, is to engage and start to build up connections with schools in Vietnam, build up relationships, build up an idea of different their culture, their identity, and bond in that way. And we're looking at doing a Year 10 class camp to Canberra, looking at Australia's War Memorial and connecting it up with Ho Chi Minh City and the museum there. Okay, probably to clarify that more, as doing combined projects, and in this case the Year 10 class camp to Canberra would be also connected with sister school in Vietnam, and them doing an excursion to War Remnants Museum in Ho Chi Minh. It's all about having connecting projects that would give two perspectives, two points of view, two perspectives on the topic we chose. Okay, so the reason for this innovation is trying to reconnect with policies that have been brought into Australia. One of the main policies we're going to connect to is the Melbourne Declaration on Education Goals for Young Australians, 2008, and that states to become active and informed citizens. Under that heading, what we want to do is have students and citizens that are able to relate to and communicate across cultures, especially the cultures of Asia. And that also connects us to another government policy which was instigated in 2012, called Australia in the Asian Century, the White Paper 2012. Now, this was a government initiative designed to be an active development to shape our national future in the Asian region, and it looks at Australia's education and training systems playing a fundamental role in ensuring that all Australians have the right capabilities to take advantage of the Asian century. In recognising the need to build a sound knowledge of Asian schools, the Asia and Australia engagement in Asia cross-curriculum priority was embedded into the curriculum. Now, this is one of only 3 cross-curriculum priorities The other two priorities, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander histories and cultures, and sustainability. So looking at it as one of three, it's an incredibly important part of our education system today. Looking at the national objectives of the Asian Century report is come to the conclusion that all schools will engage with at least one school in Asia to support the teaching of a priority Asian language, including through increased use of the national broadband network in its early days, of course, in 2012. So through building connections and relationships through the earlier years of 7, 8 and 9, we would come up to implementing a major part of the curriculum and engagement with Asia in history, in our history year 10, which includes the Canberra excursion. Now this ties in with the Australian curriculum and connects the intercultural understanding learning continuum level 6, which will develop respect for cultural diversity and communicate across cultures. Now our focus in Year 10 history in this innovation would be Indochina, Vietnam, looking at the years from 1954 to 1979, and the after effects of, which does include the after effects of the Vietnam War and the Indo-Chinese refugees that came into Australia. We want to look at the impact of the Vietnam War in Vietnam, and also its significance for Australia as allies against communism, and also reflect on how we as a country were viewed from the perspective of the Vietnamese people, and gain an understanding of what they perceived our role as and what we perceive our role was at that time. Now, one thing to back this up further again is a document, Australia-Asia Education Partnership, Directions and Opportunities, and this looked at what are the benefits of this inter-school relationships and connecting with Asia as a region, and the aim was to establish what partnerships are in place and what will drive future developments and strategies for Asia literacy. Australia-Asia partnerships are essential to meeting ambitious aspirations set for Asia literacy. And the new directions, what are the new directions for Australia? Asia partnerships found that they go beyond discretionary or on-off events and go further than simply a new curriculum unit or a new activity. So what that basically is saying that from this report is that we need to do more than just a one-off conversation. We need to slowly build up and create something that's more embedded. Hence the idea of going through the years, the 7, and then following that up in year 8, and then following it up in year 9, and then culminating that in year 10 with a major combined project to build up this wealth of knowledge. The new directions for schools, systems and their Asian partners need to be centred on deep knowledge and skills focused on Asia and integrated into school life. So we want to integrate this as a permanent thing into the school day. So how can we do that? How can we set this up? So we got in touch with an expert, Miss A. Smith, who has been working with education and connecting with Asia in education role for the past 20 to 25 years. And the feedback from that expert says that we need to understand the region where we live, and within that region is trade, economy, and obviously geographically placed. We got to look at what's important, refugees and people movement within our own region. We need to look at a very interesting idea of health issues such as epidemics. How do epidemics movement of epidemics, and looking at the close proximity of our neighbours in regards to working together to stop these epidemics. You're looking at an Asian region that has 2/3 of the world population. We're looking at a region that is the fastest growing economic region in the world. We're looking at interesting intercultural understanding, and connected in the Asian region is China. China looking at becoming one of the world's greatest economical powers, or probably already is. So we need to be aware of what's happening in our own backyard, and learn and educate ourselves and gain knowledge. And if you have a look at our example school, looking at the curriculum in our example school from currently in the 2019 curriculum, year 7 to 10, social science, year 7 and year 8. Not a lot of opportunities there, as you can see from the PowerPoint. Year 9, limited opportunities there. History, year 10, gets into connecting with Asia a little bit, with North Korea. Year 11, once again focusing mainly on Europe, and year 12, Europe and America again. So what we have there is from what I can see, is a big opening to introduce and reconnect with Asia and the Asian region. There's not a lot in our current curriculum at this school at the moment which lends opportunity to start bringing more of that engagement in, start to connect and start to build relationships. I think it's very important to have that, and have an Asia literate school. Thank you. Yeah, but then you got to listen to what I'm saying.